Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We're popping open a bottle of rosemary oil.
I really like this oil.
It's very uplifting. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's bright smelling.
Yeah, it's like springy, fresh smelling to me.
Yes, it smells like an herb, but at the same time, it smells more mentholy to me. We use this one for respiratory a lot. Early information there, but it smells like what that is supposed to be for.
Yeah. One of my friends and doTERRA people, she was the one who recommended to me, she's the one who taught me how to make hand soap. And I don't do that anymore because now doTERRA has all kinds of awesome pre-made hand soap things. But at the time I was making my own foaming hand soap with just Castile soap. But then she told me to do rosemary and lime together. And it was just the nicest smelling hand soap. And so now when I smell that, that's what I think of.
Very fresh smelling. So you were just mentioning before we got started that you had a diffuser blend with 2 of those oils in it too. You want to share that?
Yeah, I actually just made this up the other day, but it smelled so good. I did it repeatedly multiple days in a row, but I decided to call this the Refreshed Focus Blend. But it's literally just 3 drops of rosemary, lime, and then peppermint is the third one. And it smells so good. It will make your home smell refreshed, literally just fresh, clean smells. Even though there's herb oils in here with rosemary and peppermint, it didn't smell like cooking. Whereas I feel like if you diffuse oregano, it smells like you're cooking something.
Definitely. Well, and this one can be used all 3 ways. Mm-hmm. So I have smelled it and we've given our description aromatically like that. I put some under my tongue, and under my tongue, it definitely tastes more like the herb rosemary that you would expect to find in the kitchen. It doesn't have that minty scent that I smell. Yeah, I don't taste that. It is simply just the herb. It's very good.
Super strong?
No, it did not. Not like what oregano or something tastes like. I will say that this is still a toothpick oil for me if I am using it in the kitchen. This is not add a drop to red sauce. This is definitely toothpick into the bottle, swirl it around, test the sauce, see if I need to add more or not, because I do think a lot of these herb essential oils are very strong if you add a drop to sauces.
Yeah.
And then this one can also be used topically. And we have used this one topically anytime we have any sort of respiratory issues. So actually, when you were saying that diffuser blend, I feel like that would be the perfect diffuser blend to have going if you did have respiratory stuff as well, because the peppermint and the rosemary is going to open you up, and that lime is actually really good for expectorant stuff as well, I think.
Breaking down the mucus and that type of stuff. Yeah, I agree.
How have you used this one the most?
For a long time, I did have this in my shower. I know I just mentioned that about Roman chamomile as well, but this was one that I had in my shower because this specifically helps with hair growth. And I have the funniest picture of my husband. In fact, we will use this on our Instagram, so you'll have to go check it out. But my husband is bald, and I have a picture of him just normal, and then one of him holding the rosemary, and he's got this wig on with a full head of hair. It's so funny. That's not exactly how it works, but it does really help with if you are struggling with hair loss, add it to your shampoo, massage it to your head, and do that repeatedly. So at one point I was losing a lot of hair, and it definitely helped with that. Thankfully, that's not an issue I have anymore, but that's probably the only time in my life I have used it repeatedly. Ironically, I also, as a functional nutritionist, I do food sensitivity testing. And when I tested myself, my top sensitivity at the time was rosemary, which was totally surprising to me because I could have done a million elimination diets and I never would have thought to eliminate rosemary. But I eliminated rosemary, took care of the bacterial imbalance I had in my gut, and then I added rosemary back in. But for 6 months, I couldn't use rosemary, eat it, but I also couldn't diffuse it. I couldn't use the oil. That's when I realized rosemary is in so many different blends. So I couldn't use any of those blends either.
On
was
Guard
really
being
hard.
one of the main ones.
Yeah, it was really hard to not use rosemary. And I'm so grateful I fixed that. So now I can eat rosemary without issues. I can diffuse it. I can sit here and have a whole podcast where I keep on sniffing it directly out of the bottle. I love this oil. I'm so grateful I don't have to avoid it anymore.
I like that. And thinking about you rubbing this one into your scalp for the hair part, this is also a really good oil for focus. So just thinking about you kind of direct to the source, massaging it into your scalp. Do you happen to know if there was ever a correlation with the days that you were using it regularly, that you were a little bit more focused that day?
Honestly, I don't remember, but because that was a while ago when I was rubbing it into my scalp. But I've shared before that I like to use lemon for focus, and I have used lemon and rosemary together or diffused it. And I think, isn't rosemary in the Thinker blend as well, the kids one?
Yes, rosemary is in Thinker as well.
Okay. Yeah, because Thinker, I feel like, is an amazing oil for focus, and probably rosemary is part of that.
Yeah, so Thinker is vetiver, peppermint, clementine, and rosemary. So you get the citrus, the mint, and the rosemary in there.
Yeah, and then the vetiver to like calm you down,
not overthink.
Yeah.
Turn off the busy thoughts.
Yeah.
Rosemary is also one that we have used, again, for respiratory, but in the Symphony of the Cells protocol.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a series of oils that you drop along the spine with fractionated coconut oil. And this is one that is in quite a few of those protocols too. Did I say at the beginning that if not, that this is a really good one to come to the third Thursday? Did I mention that already?
I think you did mention it, but it's worth mentioning again. So just as a reminder, this is a totally free thing that we do third Thursday of every month, 7 p.m. Just jump on Zoom with us and literally ask us anything. But for oils like this, where we can't give you as much detail because this is going out into the interwebs and all of the world can hear it, there's things we can't say on a podcast that we can give you more detail or answer your questions on that call. So please join us.
Yeah, this oil has a lot of uses, and I feel like we're getting a little hung up on a couple of uses that are primary uses that work great and we use them for, but there is a lot more uses for this oil that we just can't say. So yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that. Yeah. I like rosemary. This is actually an oil that we've got a couple of oils that sit in our kitchen in a certain spot because we know they're for internal use. So I've got all the oils for water and stuff like that in there. This is not one that I put into water, but this oil, its home is specifically in that section because I can use it in the kitchen if I want to, but I also know that I could grab it for the diffuser or for that topical use that I was talking about. I don't use this one super regularly, but we definitely use it often for various things.
Yeah. So if you don't have this oil, definitely get yourself a bottle. It's very versatile, very helpful to have. And yeah, it smells good on top of all of that. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. And we'll have a brand new episode for you next Friday.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.